The birth of an empire throughout history. There have been so many empires that it's hard to keep track. So what was the first one ever? That's what we're going to find out today. We'll look at several candidates for this title and ultimately decide which one best deserves it. But before we begin, remember to give us a thumbs up if you love ancient history. And stick around until the end to learn about an amazing offer just for viewers of this channel. Sumer, located in modern-day Iraq. Sumer is generally regarded as the birthplace of civilization in the Middle East. The region was settled by nomadic hunter-gatherers around 7000 BC, who gradually began to farm the land and raise livestock. However, the Sumerians were not the only civilization in the region. In fact, there were several other civilizations that were vying for power in Mesopotamia. It was founded by Sargon of Akkad in 2334 BC, and at its peak encompassed much of modern-day Iraq and Kuwait. Sargon of Akkad was a brilliant military strategist, and his army was composed of professional soldiers who were trained in the use of chariots and composite bows. He used his military might to conquer the Sumerian city-states and establish the Akkadian Empire. Like the Sumerians, the Akkadians were a Semitic people who spoke a language of the Afro-Asiatic family. Although the Akkadians were not as culturally advanced as the Sumerians, they did make some important contributions to Mesopotamian civilization. However, one city-state that emerged from the chaos was Babylon. It was originally a small and insignificant city, but under the rule of the first dynasty of Babylon, it grew to become one of the most powerful city-states in the region. The first dynasty was founded by Hammurabi in 1894 BC, and at its peak, the Babylonian Empire encompassed much of Mesopotamia. However, its legacy lived on through the empires that came after it, such as the Babylonian Empire and the Assyrian Empire. He was also a shrewd diplomat, and he was able to forge alliances with some of the more powerful city-states in the region, such as Elam and Ishnana. For example, they developed a new form of writing that was easier to use than the cuneiform script of the Sumerians. Despite being overshadowed by its more famous Mesopotamian contemporaries, such as the Egyptians and the Assyrians, the Mitanni played a significant role in the region's political landscape. Hammurabi is best known for his Code of Laws, which was a comprehensive set of rules and regulations that governed all aspects of life in Babylon. The Mitanni's cultural influence can be seen in their contributions to literature and art. The empire was weakened by internal conflicts and was eventually conquered by the Assyrian Empire in 1350 BC. Nevertheless, the Mitanni left a lasting legacy on ancient Mesopotamia and their contributions to art. Literature and religion continue to fascinate historians today. They are known for their epic tale of the battle between the gods of the netherworld and the sky, which shares similarities with the biblical story of heaven and hell. Additionally, the Mitanni's artistic skills are evident in their intricate metalwork and stone carvings, which often depicted scenes from battles and religious ceremonies. The code was inscribed on a black stone stele and was prominently displayed in public places throughout the city. The empire was weakened by internal revolts and was eventually conquered by the Neo-Babylonian Empire in 612 BC. Nevertheless, the Neo-Assyrian Empire left a lasting legacy on ancient Mesopotamia, and its military strength and cultural achievements continue to fascinate historians today. In Sargon II, the Neo-Assyrian Empire stretched from the Persian Gulf in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. While there may be some debate regarding the exact definition of an empire and how early empires may have differed from those that came later, the Sumerians were undoubtedly one of the earliest civilizations to achieve the level of complexity and sophistication that we associate with empires. They developed advanced systems of government, law, and agriculture, as well as innovations in mathematics, astronomy, and literature. Moreover, the Sumerian Empire was characterized by a high degree of cultural achievement, including monumental architecture, intricate works of art, and a rich body of mythology and folklore. The empire's capital city of Ashur was a center of trade. Let us know in the comments below. In commerce, the city of Nineveh was home to the renowned library of Ashurbanipal, which contained thousands of clay tablets. The Assyrians made contributions to literature, science, and art, and their influence can be seen in the architecture and sculpture of the region. The empire's military strength enabled it to conquer vast territories and maintain control over its vast holdings. The Assyrians were known for their brutality and their military tactics, which included the use of iron weapons and siege warfare. It covered everything from property rights to family law to criminal law, and it provided a fair and impartial legal system that protected the rights of all citizens. Under the reign of its most powerful king, Artashumara, the Mitanni controlled vast territories that stretched from the Mediterranean Sea in the west to the Persian Gulf in the east. Its capital was the city of Ashur, and later Nineveh. The empire is known for its military strength, as having assembled a formidable army that is believed to have consisted of infantry, cavalry, and chariots. They also built new temples and shrines to their gods and goddesses. And they continued the Sumerian tradition of keeping libraries of tablets containing historical records and works of literature. But its legacy lived on through the Neo-Babylonian Empire, which would eventually conquer all of Mesopotamia. They were skilled traders and merchants, and their control of the caravan routes between Mesopotamia and the Mediterranean Sea made them wealthy. One of the most successful of these was the Kingdom of Akkad by 5000 BC. Several city-states had sprung up, each ruled over by a king. Over time, these city-states became more powerful and expanded their territory through conquest. By 2000 BC, they had formed a loose confederation known as the Empire of Sumer. The Sumerian Empire was the first known empire in history. It was home to some of the earliest known cities and states, as well as some of the earliest known works of literature and art. However, their legacy lived on through the empires that came after them, such as the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. One of the most important contributions of the Sumerians was the invention of writing. This allowed them to keep records of their history, trade, and laws, which helped to ensure the continuity of their culture. They also developed a sophisticated legal code, which helped to maintain order and stability within their empire. Additionally, the Sumerians made significant advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Their knowledge of these subjects helped to improve the quality of life for their citizens, and laid the foundation for future civilizations. Unfortunately, the Sumerian Empire eventually collapsed due to a combination of factors, including climate change, overpopulation, and attacks from nomadic invaders. The Kingdom of Akkad, as previously mentioned, the Sumerian Empire eventually collapsed due to a combination of climate change, overpopulation, and attacks from nomadic invaders. Akkad was a Mesopotamian kingdom located in the northern part of the Fertile Crescent. One of the most important aspects of the Akkadian Empire was its military. Another important aspect of the Akkadian Empire was its cultural achievements. Unfortunately, the Akkadian Empire was short-lived. By 2154 BC, the empire had collapsed due to a combination of internal strife and external pressures. The first dynasty of Babylon, after the Akkadian Empire fell apart, Mesopotamia was once again plunged into a period of chaos and instability. Babylon was a city-state located in central Mesopotamia. Hammurabi was a brilliant military leader, and he used his skills to conquer the neighboring city-states and expand the territory of Babylon. However, perhaps the most important contribution of the Babylonian Empire was its legal system. The Babylonian Empire was eventually overthrown by the Kassite Empire in 1595 BC, the Mitanni. Mitanni Empire was a powerful kingdom in ancient Mesopotamia that existed from around 1500 BC to 1350 BC. Its capital was the city of Washington. The empire was known for its military prowess, having assembled a formidable army that is believed to have consisted of chariots and foot soldiers. While not much is known about the empire's religious beliefs, it is believed that they worshipped a chief god named Kumarbi, similar to the Mesopotamian deity of wisdom and magic. Despite their power and influence, the Mitanni Empire eventually declined due to a combination of internal and external pressures. Neo-Assyrian Empire. The Neo-Assyrian Empire was a powerful Mesopotamian kingdom that existed from the 9th century BC to the 7th century BC. Under the reign of its most powerful kings, such as Ashur-nasir-pal II, the Neo-Assyrian Empire also had a significant cultural influence on the region. However, the Neo-Assyrian Empire eventually collapsed due to a combination of internal and external pressures. Which one do you think deserves the title? Now that we've considered a few different empires, which one do you think deserves the title of the first empire in history? For me, personally, I think the Sumerian Empire is the best candidate for the title of the first empire in history. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to learn more about amazing history. Thanks for watching.